just comes in with a triple. He just get a kill on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter right now. Just still going. He finds 3 as well. He do the smoke and finds 2. That might just be a free use find. It's disgusting from Dragons. Lovely stuff from Sergio. Oh my god. Saki, TJ, and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn. Oh my god. Breaker finds 3. TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the EU Gears Pro League. My name is Tun, joined here with Fru.
Nailed it.
I got it right that time. Yeah, you see, I'm a commentator. Anyway, game number 2, I should say, between Regal Reserve and Elevate is now coming up. We're very, very excited for this one. Game number 1. I swear to God, this isolation carry-on has boiled my head well and truly. Casting is difficult now, apparently. I've apparently found it easy up until now, but here we are. Either way, we're excited for this game. And I really don't know which way it's going to go. I think, if you would ask me this at the beginning of the season, I would have stuck my mortgage on Elevate winning this game. But right now, against Regal Reserve, I think it is something that could go either way. It has to be said, Regal Reserve being getting better and better. They looked good against Rated R last week. We're unfortunate to lose that one. Now, can they go even one better and beat Elevate? It would be very difficult to do still. However, it's not out of the realms of possibilities, which is what I am sort of leaning towards on this one.
Yeah. I think with that round 9 third map, that was a fantastic performance from Regal, and you're right, they stepped it up from week 1 to week 2. Definitely an improvement, and definitely against a stronger team as well. So against Elevate now, if they can bring that same intensity they brought last week, yes, they might have a chance here, and they might surprise a few people if they can come out the gate strong. Elevate included, because they haven't lost a map to this team for 3 quarters now. Yeah, and they'll be looking 2 quarters. The third quarter is this one. They would be looking to continue that, obviously.
Hopefully they will for their sake. But looking at this Elevate team, well, what is the question right now around them? Because I think that Rated R, yes, okay, they've been looking good online. They had a better performance than Elevate did in Mexico, but then still we somewhat. If you were to say Rated R and Elevate against each other, like 9 times out of 10, who would you pick? Like, it's a lot more difficult question to answer now, but most of the time, I think a lot of people still will pick Elevate. I don't know what it is. Do you think it's just the length of track record they've had at the top of Europe? Is this their first real big test against this Rated R squad and possibly even this Regal squad? I think it's something that we're not going to properly figure out for a good few weeks, I would say. I think after the major, where we see things are at then, that's probably going to be our biggest sort of indicator of who is the best team in Europe. But I still think it's a question that people need to be putting forward their argument more against Elevate, because they've been at the top for so long.
Yeah. And, that's the goal of every team here involved in the Pro League, and every team involved in the Challenger circuit is to dethrone, is to become that number 1 team. And, as a competitor now, right now, Rated R, they're the team that are closest. And as some would probably say, actually, I have succeeded in taking that number 1 spot. For me, though, it is about that legacy. I'm not about to throw away the claim of number 1 team in Europe based upon 2 events, right? 1 Pro League performance and 1 major performance. It has to be a consistent thing.
Yeah.
If we get to the end of the quarter and Elevate 2 quarters out of 3 have not come top, then yes, 100%, they are not the best team in Europe anymore. They may be the best performing team in Europe as a region, but they aren't the best team in Europe globally right now. That's definitely Rated R. They showed it at the major. They've just got to secure that now here, in this quarter, in the spring quarter, and that's what it's all about. It's about this battle between Elevate, the Kings, EU's finest, as they were once known, and this up and coming squad in Rated R. And of course, hot on the heels, Regal Reserve, because yes, they took Rated R to that map 3. They've been the closest team so far against them. Another win here, and Regal Reserve, they could be in a very, very good spot and looking to perhaps claw their way to a second quarter win.
I mean, it's in the realms of possibility for them. They've looked like a different team completely since Reaction joined. I mean, I don't want to just put it all down to him, but it just seems as if they're maybe playing their life a little bit better. They're maybe just playing... I mean, they're playing their life a little bit better, maybe winning some of the gunfights they weren't, maybe just making smarter plays. Because all too often, how many times were we saying last season that these guys like to die too much, and it just seems to be one of these cases where they weren't winning these gunfights when it was coming down to them being important, and now it just seems like a completely different team. Is it all down to Jack, or do you think it's just as a good team effort?
I mean, obviously, I think it's down to Jack somewhat. For me, though, it's more about not. This is really bad, but not being Reader. Reader had a terrible performance last quarter.
Reader.
I know. I'm going to call him out because he did, right? He did, and I think everyone will agree in that it wasn't his best 6 weeks of war that he's had. His first quarter was fantastic. His second quarter was not good, and I think the change here has been a little bit of Jack performing well. He brings an energy to the team, that's for sure, and he definitely knows his shit when it comes to Gears of War. However, they've also got a fifth member now, and that's for me a more important thing is that they're now fighting on 5 fronts, and they've got a solid member in that 5th spot.
Absolutely, he has been performing well, but let's have a look at the picks and bans that are now going to come through. I think these are fairly important, it has to be said. We know that Elevate do like to dictate these ones. They do have a fairly deep map pool, you would like to think anyway. Asylum gone, no surprises there from Regal Reserve. Then Training Grounds gone from Elevate. Again, not too much of a surprise. Then Bunker coming through for Elevate, not a surprise whatsoever. Vazcart coming through for Regal, not a surprise whatsoever. Exhibit and Icebound then going. I think the only surprise there for me, although last time they played it was very one-sided, but was a long time ago towards Elevate, was that Exhibit. Maybe, things could have changed by now, but Regal Reserve not taking any chances this time rather than Icebound going for Elevate. They notoriously don't like that map. District is what we will see on the Decider if we do get there. I like those maps. I think we're seeing map 3, in all honesty. I just love how Regal Reserve play Vasco. I think they're a very, very good team. Every single time we've seen them on Vazcart, they look impressive.
I'm just going to add to that very, very quickly as well. Elevate did ban out Vazcart against Obey last week, so it's one of those where perhaps here Regal have snuck a map that Elevate perhaps didn't want to play. And Training Grounds last week was the second ban against Obey. So yes, we can see Elevate opting for a different first ban, potentially letting that Vazcart slide, but in the end, Regal have changed it, and they looked very good on it in the past.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they actually manage to get a hold of that one. But, if they play the same way as they did against Rated R last week, that's going to be a very difficult map for Elevate. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Bunker is a solid pick for Elevate. They're very, very good at it. And I really, really like the pick. I think, did Regal play a Rated R on this map last weekend?
They did. They lost on the round 9.
Round 9, yeah. So,
they were
close games. Yeah, they were close games. They could have won that one too. Yeah, I remember. They could have won it 2-0, though. I'm sure they would have been disappointed with that. But either way, close maps is what I'm expecting here. For all that we've seen in series number 1 of the day, that it was over fairly quickly. I mean, I was downstairs within an hour after one series, just grabbing myself a drink. And this will be the complete opposite, I feel. But looking towards our matchups that we do like to look towards, our head-to-head this week, there's going to be Fractures and Crimsons. Fractures is somebody who last season for this team did not perform up to the standard we did expect. So far, though, in this quarter, he's looked very, very good. And the ever-present man at the top of the leaderboards for Elevate, and that's no mean feat, is Crimsons. If he can try and match Crimsons as best he can, if he can bring that form we've seen in the last 2 weeks at Fractures, they've got such a good chance here, Regal.
Yeah, definitely. So Fractures, if you get an M-bar in his hands, you got to watch your head, right? That's one of the first things I like about Fractures. But you're right. He hasn't been performing for a quarter, not to the same degree we saw at least on Gears 4. And last week was the first time that Spanish duo, Cougars and Fractures, really did pop off, in the quarter and actually in the Pro League as a whole. Both Fractures and Cougars had fantastic games last week, and Fractures was just consistently fantastic throughout. If you can keep it up to date, you can match the intensity that he brought last week. Yeah, for sure. They're going to bring it here to Elevate. Crimsons, on the other hand, we're going to see today how his stats are padded, if they are padded, with the kills and eliminations change. I expect him to be getting a hell of a lot of assists and a hell of a lot of kills too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be looking out for. Yeah. I think it's one of these things where we will sort of see where they were padded. Was he just picking up plenty of kills, or was he legitimately just sitting back, Lancer fire down, just doing what he needs to do, which is still very, very positive. You know, if he is getting a lot of eliminations, he's doing a lot of work for his team, but we will see how that is properly broken down now. Thank you to CC for changing the leaderboards. Well, I think we're very, very happy about that. As said, the people who are working on the stats behind the scenes at EGL are not ecstatic. They will have to figure something out to do with it, but I'm sure they will. All right, thoughts then. Which way is it going? Because I am going to lean towards Elevate, because I think if you had a gun to your head, who would you pick?
Elevate.
It would be Elevate. I think it is going to be a very close series. I think they'll take District. I think it'll be going down to the last map. I think Vazgar is going to go over towards Regal. I think Bunker could be very, very close as well. I am going to lean towards Elevate, but if Regal Reserve won this 2-0, it would not shock me completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can believe that. Everything in me is like, just go Elevate 2-0. Like that's what you should be saying. But I'll give Regal the benefit of the doubt for a change. I said last week, prove me wrong. You're not gonna beat Rated R. And they took them bloody close. You know, it was round 9, that last map, and it was a very exciting one. So I'm gonna go Elevate, but I will say 2-1 this time around. I do feel Regal Reserve have it in them to take a map, especially given how they're playing and how Elevate are playing right now.
Well, here we go. This is the matchup everybody's been looking forward to this week anyway. Regal Reserve v Elevate. Oh, I really don't know. I think... let's just let the gameplay decide. Let's see which way this one's going to go. Round number 1 will be important. Let's see who has really woken up and started the best. It is going to be Regal Reserve making this a really big push towards B. They've committed a lot of numbers forward to it. They get out. Now it's on Elevate, the ones that have to make the move. And the thing is, for Elevate here, they didn't even commit anything back towards A, so they're getting nothing on the board right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went for a very, very aggressive push up through that bunker, supporting Jack Fex down through that middle route into the into the cave down there. And now they've had to leave him there, essentially. And you can see that's why he's running back right now. He's just going to go back and meet back up with his teammate, with Crazed up on that top bunker. And for all it's worth, Regal Reserve, they made him pay. You can see the score lead already, 70-15. That's how you want to start a game of Gears 5, with a huge point lead and a good hold across the map. Regal Reserve looking to get it done early here, as they do open strong.
And the thing is, for Regal here, they know Elevate are going to have to be the ones making the move. Are they going to allow them to be making those moves, or are they going to be the ones that are proactive to this? Making the move themselves first and making Elevate have to answer. Right now, quite happy to sit back. Jack with some good shots. That final shot landing on Phelpsy. This will get cleaned up, and here comes the push from Regal Reserve now. They have the numbers over towards B. Elevate trying to force the issue themselves, though. Saying, right, come on, you have to engage in these gunfights because we're already taking B. Bodies hitting the floor, most of them from Elevate. Regal Reserve with a really nice start here. They should be able to get a hold of B. They should be able to lock down the map.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play there by Regal Reserve. Led by the man on your screen right now. Finding that down, finding that opening kill, and just dictating the play there, as he did have some support from up top, from Bunker. And that was all about that opening kill. You saw them up top. They managed to find the kill on Jack Fex. That was Fractures up there, doing his best. Things settling down a bit now, as we just kind of go into this mid-game. As you can see, the points, again, Elevate. This is where Elevate start to try and work it out, right? How did they find the kills? How do they force a domination? If you're Regal Reserve, you got to respect that. You can't let them find all those kills. You can't let them get an easy route through to your home hill. And that's why you can see Jack, you can see Cougars. They're rotating around now to try and defend the C hill. And actually, Zorkos is going to go down at the back of there. And that might actually give Elevate the opening that they need. Crimson's going to find this on Jack. Beautiful little flank there to take the same route as Jack did. Come in behind him. And this is Elevate through and through. They look like they're down. They're 200 points to 100 points down. And just like that, they're threatening this domination already.
They're pushing through. See, not quite able to tick in yet. The domination ticking up. If you are Regal Reserve, though, you just need to win a couple of fights. Cougar's going in now. Finds Jack and Crimson. It's a massive play out of him. We said that he had a really, really good week last week. And he may have just saved his team there. A COG team win condition pops up, 30 seconds to go. They win the gunfights that they need to. We can see the win condition as well through. We love to see that from Matt.
He's done it in the break.
He's done it in
making
between
graphic
games.
changes.
Nobody else. Nobody else.
Best in the business.
Right, okay, let's not begin off too much. Either way, Regal Reserve 10 seconds away from winning the round. They just about closed it out. Maybe make it a little bit more difficult for themselves than they would have liked, but Elevate, no, this one is done and dusted. 1-0 to Regal Reserve now.
Yeah, exactly how you'd like to start that, right? Find that opening kill. Get yourself a very, very big point lead. Good defense on that home hill as well. And Cougars there, you saw it. Double kill in his hands. Almost a triple, actually, on the screen as he does find those kills. 5-1 now. First round. If you elevate, you made the right play, but you got clutched up on. And there's some things you can take from that as being a positive. You found the opening. You managed to force the plays. You managed to put Regal right on the back foot. But you didn't close it out. Next time around, got to be a little bit more cautious about giving that triple kill up to Cougars.
Gooch in the chat just saying, Elevate lose rounds to practice their comebacks. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at times. But they are going to have to come back somewhat here. Once again, Regal Reserve love this aggressive push. They don't concentrate anything up towards bunker, where we do like to see teams have some sort of control. They say, sod it. Let's just get B. There was a fight down here, but here we go. This fight not looking like it's going to go their ways. The flashes do come on through. Cougars is the first to drop and be sent to the respawn queue, and Jack follows them closely behind. So they may be able to make that push through, but some really well-placed flashes coming out of Elevate. Put them in a really solid spot. Hydron gets aggressive, good shots into Physics, just getting all sorts of angles on him in a horrible, horrible spot. He will drop, but he will be picked up. The rest of the team in no man's land too. The damage is done. Hydro just trying to create pressure here, and the fact that he doesn't push forward, I love that from him. Sometimes you'll see players, they'll get on the flank, and then they'll go aggressively behind players to try and find something. But he goes, gets a couple of bullets in, backs on down. Regal Reserve now have to think about where he is. They have to chase him down. They don't know exactly where Hydron is, don't know where he's playing. That's why he finds one kill. May well find a second on the Cougars as well. It's phenomenal from Hydron. A and B is what they are now looking towards. And that's all the flank play coming out of Hydron. The map is completely locked down in Elevate's favor. Jack is the only one here to potentially answer the question, but Hydron just keeps on rolling forward. He might find another. He will find another. That's a sensational round out of Hydron.
And you got a question there. Why is Cougars even spawning up? Why is why are they wasting rounds there? Why we're wasting lives there on a round where Elevate has just outclassed you, outperformed you? Hydron, what a play by him! Fantastic. Really, really good by Elevate. And 1-1 now, and I don't think that's an unfair scoreline 2 rounds into it. I think both teams have shown some promising gears of war as we go into this 3rd round. But if you're Regal, you've got to be careful of those lives. And Cougar's already down to 1. I think it'll go up to 2 for this round. Is already starting to concern me a little bit, especially if he continues this kind of trend through into that second half.
It is worrying. It is worrying. I don't know. I just like that from Hydro, and I don't know if I was maybe bigging that up too much. I just like how smart it was. You know, you sometimes, as I said, you see those players when they're on the flank just like try to force the aggression, but it's just being a nuisance. It's just one of those things. You back off, you don't let them know where you are, and it's just the fact that the pressure's there. They're constantly saying Hydron on flank, Hydron on flank. Then they go to push it out when he's already dropped back, finds one unexpectedly. I don't know. I just think very, very smart players out of him.
Yep. Yeah, I would totally agree with you. I think it's a mark of a good player. It's not always the flashy plays, right? It's the clever plays, the plays that they do the business without you really noticing how much work they're putting in. And yeah, Hydron, he finds those kind of plays often. Good revive there to get Cougars out of trouble. Cougars getting himself tucked into that corner there, healing back up. As you can see now on that minimap, Elevate, they have decided to rotate through. They have gone to defend this B hill. They don't want anyone pushing up there. And for Regal Reserve, they're just waiting for numbers to come off spawn now. Physics, he's the last one out. He's going to be coming up in just a second. Supported there by Zorkos, by Fractures as well, I believe. And they're just going to be, just trying to figure this one out in just a second. You can see the crossfire is going to come in from Fractures over in that middle cave. And his Jack reaction, actually. That's another good flash coming out there, and this should be a cleanup here. Good incend coming out there from Crimsons. Just get the kill on Physics. A missed shot from Jackfex. It's not something you say often. He's going to roll into that. Should be able to get this cap up pretty quickly there. Another flashbang coming out here, and now maybe the push comes in from Regal Reserve. They do. They try and get the break on this one. Jack's so red here. Jack's on either team. It's going to get a bit confusing, but
we'll go with Reaction and Jack.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. But once again, the flash comes through, and that's what leads the charge for both these teams. Regal Reserve are now the ones in control, though. They will not be able to get a hold of the bees. Phelpsy pushes on through, finds a second. Oh my word, Phelpsy, that is despicably good. Oh, he finds a fourth as well. That's incredible out of Phelpsy. 4 members of Regal Reserve approach him, and 4 members of Regal Reserve are sent back to the respawn queue. There's one for the highlight reel, making my job easy through the week. Phelpsy, that is sensational. 2 huge players out of Elevate. Win them 2 rounds off the bounce. Disgusting.
That really was.
Disgusting.
A quad off the bat. I thought he'd lost it as well when the shot over the top fluffed, but that really was MVP. Phelpsy material. Looking fantastic there. Quad kill, back to back. Round's easy after that, isn't it?
The first kill was nice. And then he finds 3 more. Just in the little cubby down next towards artillery. Good lord. Yep, chat, you're right. He has cracked out his mind. Insane. I don't like Pains the slander. Pains is getting slandered in the chat saying he could never do that. Pains, I believe in you, bro.
Hey, we've seen Pains put up some.
Pains had a good game.
Yeah. So some good triples. To be fair, I don't think he's had a quad yet, but this time yet, 3 weeks yet.
Yeah, that was really nice from Phelpsy. Let's not get it twisted though. Really, really well played. That might just be the catalyst that Elevate need. I like how like Phelpsy pulls up something good, and then Pains gets slandered for it in the chat
Immediately as well.
He's not even playing. Oh god. Never change, Gears. Never change.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's shoutbox material, that. Love it.
Jack and Co, though, trying to solidify a 3rd round in a row here. They do seem to have most of the control over towards B, and Regal will not be happy with that round. Especially, I mean, look, it comes down to Phelpsy just pushing through and finding 4, and then the rounds all of a sudden elevates. But they will not be happy with the way that it did pan out. If you're out-rotated, shot as a team, fair enough. But, I mean, Regal were out-shot as a team there, but only by 1 person, unfortunately for them. It's a tough way to lose a round is what I'm trying to say. So, yep, Regal will not be happy. They will not be in a good spot yet.
All things considered, though, was, early in the game, it hasn't amounted to, a massive lead here. It's only 1 round lead, so there are definitely worse times to give up a quad kill. That's for sure. And Regal Reserve, they did look to be, in it at the time I started the sentence, but right now they are hightailing it. They are running, and now we've got a 1v1 on Cougars as well. Ooh, trying to make up for earlier. Doesn't get 1, doesn't get 2. Crimson's in the end, shuts him down. Another back A from him. He's looking like he's playing well today.
He does. He does. It was the first shot that came out of Cougars. I thought he probably would have solidified it, but Crimson's has to be clean from that moment out, and he is. Clean as a whistle. Minds Cougars, and now they should be able to make this push. They're making the push on the B. They're trying to solidify this domination, and as they have A, they have C. Regal Reserve are hightailing it back towards A. Do they have time? They do not. Elevate. That's an easy round for them to find 3-1 now.
Yep. Strong round by Elevate there. It's a very strong round indeed. A quick kills and assist check. Crazed M doing nothing. 1 kill, 4 assists in 4 round. But he's doing enough. He's positioned himself well. He's getting the damage down. And yeah, this is definitely interesting to have these stats on the scoreboard now. I'm liking this change. And definitely be keeping an eye on this one. Crimson seem to be doing all right from what we saw. But we'll do another check later on. Let's have a look. 5-1. There we go, Cougars. Yeah. Physics 1-4. Fractures 1-1. We put you on the one to watch. I think we put too much pressure on him.
Yeah, maybe. The fact that it's just 1-1 is like, it's not enough involvement, is it? Even if,
not
like, I mean, Phelpsy's got 9 kills, 1 assist, but you'd like to see them be helping each other out. At least, if you haven't got the kills and you're putting the damage down, then that's something to talk about. But we're past the halfway point now anyway. That is...
What? That's dirty. That is dirty. I like what I'm seeing here from Cougars with this ball talk. He's playing it.
Oh, dear.
Very, very well. Perhaps another as he's looking for his second. Wild West Cougars. It's my favourite skin.
Oh, Cougar. No, come on. Crimson's kill him, please. Come on. You can't be having clips like this on the timeline all week. Phelpsy's already got one. Maybe he wants to answer back. He does. Cougars, another kill. Phenomenal. Oh, we said it would be entertaining. Just don't you dare. He's lining them up here. Not hitting that shot. Gonna now push on through, trying to help his team out. trying to flick around. This is a really good round from Regal Reserve. The rest of the team pushing up with him as well. It's not just all being Cougars, although mostly it has. Is he going to be able to help him? I mean, he's killing everybody.
Does not discriminate.
Yeah, no, it does not discriminate whatsoever. Physics is going to go down as well. But there you go. It is going to mean that Regal Reserve are in a good spot in this round, and it's mostly down to Cougars finding a few kills there.
Yeah. That's the Cougars you want on your team. Killing everything. Not missing a shot with that bolt up, with that Nasher, even if it is on your own teammates. Question is now, what do Elevate do in response? Looks like they're going to make the play towards the E-hill. Looks like they're going to go for this decap. They have the setup to do it. You can see now they're pushing across the top there. Some good Lancer fire coming across to just put Cougar's head down here. He can't step up too long. Realistically, he needs to just kind of step back a little bit. Take the shots from behind the wall. He'll be all right. Some downs coming in there. Fractures finding that down on Crimson's. No one picked up yet in the end, though. The revives coming through. Physics does find the kill on Phelpsy there, and Craze having to run back off now to his own side. This should be a Regal Reserve win if they can find the kills. They just can't let any sloppy deaths come through. Physics might be that first of those sloppy deaths, as he does get caught in the cave here, but nope, he finds himself a kill, does get out. Jack Reaction finds Crimson's as well, and now a 1v1. Craze does fall as well. Physics finds 2, and that's a fantastic double kill, exactly what you wanted. An elimination going to come through there for Regal Reserve, and 3-2 now. They are back in the game.
Really nice round. They were on the back foot for a lot of that as well. I mean, apart from the beginning of the round where Cougars just went mental, but I mean, that was really, really impressive how Regal Reserve fought back there. 3-2 now. Very much got a game on our hands here. Selection coming through. No mid-drops quite yet. I said we have seen the bolt up come through on the side of Regal, of course, for Cougars, which means they're slightly behind here. We'll be talking about utility on the map. Retro going down on the side of Elevate. So something a little bit different. Would you prefer the shock? Personally, I would, but I mean, that's just me.
I like the shot grenade, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just think
as a weapon, I think it's it's just very useful, and there are lots of situations where you can use it. But Incendiary on this map, it's useful because you can find those picks, and it's
the fact that they picked the Retro Lancer instead of the was it?
Oh yeah. The Retro is it is what it is. I don't particularly like it, but a lot of people do.
Well, it's down, so let's see what they can do with it. Trying to see who actually has control of it. It is going to be Crazed on the side of Elevate, so just trying to put down as much damage as he can, and hopefully that'll be enough for his team to get some sort of control. But right now, that control belongs to Regal Reserve. Cougars, once again, has the ball talk out, but this time he may have been a little bit overzealous with that one, and here we go. This Retro Lancer is putting damage down. 7 assists to Crazed's name right now, and that really does tell the story of his gameplay. And okay, right, they were very right to select this. It's absolutely shredding Regal Reserve now.
Yeah. And for the stick I gave him about being 1-for-1, he's turned that around very, very quickly. And now has a very respectable scoreline, actually. Fair play to him.
Now just trying to do his best with the pistol. He in the control of Elevate, so Regal Reserve do have to make a move at some point. Where are they going to concentrate their resources here? See, 2 down towards the lower side. Maybe a push on towards F is what they're interested in. There's one member of Elevate over there. Maybe they're just trying to bait Elevate into moving some more players back, as the rest of Regal Reserve will then push on through to E. But it's just about waiting for that first little mistake from one of these two teams, and then we'll see everyone move.
That we will. You can see now, Regal Reserve, they're pushing up to Cave now, and now the flashbangs come out in Physics. He's going to push forward, but Zorkos, he's running down on Cougars. That's not what you want right now. Craze trying to make it happen here in the mid, but Fracture's going to shut him down. Looking for 2 now. Revive comes out. There's the double kill for Fractures, looking for the triple. Isn't able to get it. Does have teammates in tow, though. Jack Reaction trying to get this one. Passes it over to Fractures for that headshot, and there's a triple kill for him. Should be pretty good here now if you're Regal Reserve. They just need to find their setup. Swarm are going to win in 64 seconds, but I think once that cap comes in on the D-Hill, that will switch over to the COG team. Yep, 44 seconds is all they need to hold out. 1 Incend has been taken out. Fractures from the heavens jumps down. He should be able to get the kill here. Good down there by Spanish Fractures, as he just helps. A little bit of help from his teammate. Will place himself in a very strange position up at the top of those ladders. I'm trying to find a way to describe it, but he essentially did just drop on the head of Elevate. Now, up A.
There we go.
Back A. Every A you can find, as he does find another kill there. And this is fantastic. This is really good from Fractures. I'm glad we jumped on board with him. Fantastic observing.
He needs to move over towards E, though. They need to keep control of it as best they can. They still win up for 1 cap, but they need to win these gunfights to solidify the round. They may have just done that there. E will go back in their favor. They're about to tie things up here. Regal Reserve Fractures with a really, really nice round. 3-3. Regal Reserve very much in this one.
Yeah, very good round. I like what I'm saying.
You like what you're saying, or you like what you're seeing?
Saying.
You said saying.
Whatever. I said saying, but it was slang, wasn't it? It was an accent.
Slang? Was it not just the wrong word?
It's because I'm from the north. That's what I'm going to blame.
I am as well.
No, I just misspoke. Oh, dear. I was hoping that one went past you.
Yeah, well,
damn
it gets past me through.
Yeah.
You know this. Come on now. I'm a switched on
getting placed
individual.
down.
Yeah. No, I don't think that changes things too much. What do we think? I don't know.
Blocks the upgrade on the Retro Lancer.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
that would be why.
Pretty,
that
pretty
will be why.
smart.
Yeah.
Just stops Praise from getting that on his hands for free.
That one did get past me.
Yeah,
3-3.
Well,
now.
Depends if they win it. Let's have a look. Let's see what they do, because they've still got that Retro Lancer as some support there as they're going for this fight here. See the flashbangs are going to come in as well. And Jack, actually, first one down, Fractures and co have just lanced their hell out of him. He's down instantly. Phelpsy should die here as well. This is a bad spot to be in.
Oh, he's going to get away.
Yeah, a bit of wavy Lancer fire. They changed targets there and took Hydron down instead. Hydron should fall if they can get the clean up here. Jack's got to be careful not to take too much damage. Hydron does fall. Incend does come out. Nothing connecting there, but they do have that sniper rifle in hand now. It's Cougars on board with the sniper. He's actually pushing rifle. Oh, there we go. That's a headshot and a half. Looking for a second. Does get the connect. Might die here as he's taking a lot of damage down. Just hiding in the corner now. Got to be very, very careful. Done well to get himself out here. And now Boltok sniper. Does he have anything else in his arsenal? He's just got so many powerful weapons.
Give everything to Cougars, apparently. He is going to help his teammates clean those 2 kills up, though. So Regal Reserve very much in control of this one. Phelpsy.
Play to him.
Not going to connect this time round, but has done well so far. We'll find 1 kill and a down. Just trying to wait for a shot lining up. Maybe wasted that one on the Hydron, who's now pushing lower cave side. Shot's going to go through. The Nash is still available. Looking for the easy cap.
Oh,
and
no.
that situation is not where you want the long shot. That's all risk. I mean, oh my word. Just the incend coming from the gods over towards Sorgos as he gets picked off the cover. And Cougars now has to back on down for all the good work that he's done. Elevate will nullify that instantly. Gaining control of E, control of the map, and the win condition will be with them.
Yeah, and Fracture's going to fall now as well. And if Craze can pick this one up, that's huge, because now 4v5, such a difficult situation. Now Cougar's got to be careful here with this long shot as well. He only had 1 shot left in it. I'm not quite sure if he used the last one up. Doesn't look like he has, because he's still holding that one out. Has got that Boltok as well, so 1 snipe, 1 Boltok shot. That should be enough to find it down if you can connect. That's the question, though, because you can see now Elevate. They're rotating around to that bunker side, putting themselves behind that rocky outcrop, making sure that Cougars cannot see their heads whatsoever. Incens get picked up as well, so that's going to be a huge help there. Is he able to get that headshot? Nope. Nothing at all connecting from Cougars. And after that first shot, realistically, hasn't done much with that weapon whatsoever. Maybe need to give it to Physics next time.
Yeah, we've seen Physics do all right with it this season, haven't we?
Yeah. All right.
Elevate now, looking to close this one out and send themselves to map point. Hydron is going to find Cougars. Oh, and all the kills starting to flow through. This is going to be a 4th round for Elevate. Fairly comfortable in the end, has to be said. Even though Cougars did try his best with the sniper, the latter stages of the clip not really working out for him the same way as the couple of first bullets did. But in the end, Elevate, get it done. They rotate where they need to. They win the gunfights where they need to. Put themselves on map point here. Fight back needed from Regal. 2 in a row is what they're going to need. Yeah.
You would think so. I think Physics needs to step it up a little bit. Actually, he's been very, very quiet, and 13 deaths now. He's rocking quite a few. So if he can step it up, perhaps his team can come back in it, force that round 9. Let's see what they place, though. Phelpsy hovering that loadout. Maybe a Boltok will go down. Actually, a Boltok for Crazed. So Yep, they couldn't get him the sniper rifle, but they're going to give him some long-range headshot potential anyway with that Boltok, and the Incendiary just coming in with a half-timer there.
Right then. Do or die for Regal. Do you think they come back?
No.
No.
Okay. as you know, as harsh as that might sound, I feel like Elevate, they're pretty good at these latter rounds, and even against that sniper, even with Cougars going off, they still manage to find ways to win. Phelpsy has found a good kill on Zorkos as well. That's an easy kill. Zorkos would want that one back.
It is actually going to work out, though, as a win for Regal Reserve on the initials, but fortunately just not in the right places. Jack Fex, nice little snap onto Physics, will back him down momentarily. Won't allow him to capture Re. He's ready for the push from up high. Physics trying to get away. Fractures will find Phelpsy, though. Shot's not landed from Jack yet. Needs to try and make up for it. Cannot. Fractures starting to find a little bit of pace here. He's going to clean that one up as well and just say as well, sod it, let's keep running at them. Crimsons has to back down. He will go into the hands of Regal Reserve here.
Physics has just gone. Yeah, Physics just gone beast mode. He just ran all the way down to the spawn, down to that radio tower, and pushing so aggressively there. It gets taken out in the end. Does give Fractures the time he needs to cap that hill uncontested, but does it really do anything in the grand scheme of things? They traded 1 for 1. Actually, Elevate, they are going to have their player come off spawn earlier. It does mean, actually, in the grand scheme of things, Elevate in a better spot here to push. There's the Incend going down. Fractures does fall as well. Reaction's going to die to the fire. 4v3 situation.
High drone, that's not what he wanted to do, was it?
No, definitely not.
Fractures will catch him out. Jack now in a really rough spot as well, expecting the flankers. Fractures now, though. 14 kills, 11 assists. He's doing well.
That was possibly the windiest Lancer I've ever seen. Just kind of shot and wiggled and hoped. He needs to get himself in the training range with that weapon, but quite honestly, it does not matter. In the end, they're going to find the kills. They're going to find the kills that are needed. They're going to cap that E-hill, and now they should find a kill on Phelpsy as well if they can get the damage down. Yep. Fractures should be able to clean this one up. And, you know, for all we said about Elevate closing things out, Regal Reserve have looked very strong in this round.
They have. They're looking towards the respawn queue. Crimson's 1 and 4 in terms of respawns. Jack only 1 respawn himself. Hydrone only 1 respawn. Physics is the only one close to it. Of course, with 1 respawn himself as well. So if you're Regal, you send this to around number 9, you're arguably in the better spot, although there still will be a couple of respawns available for these players when we do get back to it, as more players start to fall. This is a Regal Reserve round. This is one is done and dusted, essentially. I know I sometimes do call them early, but I would like to see Elevate try and come back from this. Regal, though, will send us to a round number 9. We promised a good game. We have it. Comes down to this one single round.
That's it. That's it. Didn't get any in that first series, but round 9 now. First game of this one. And Regal Reserve, they're putting in a fantastic performance here. Led at the top by that man Fractures. We said we needed a good game. At the half, he looks poor. Now, round 9, he's looking on fire. Looks like he's warmed up. The Incends are getting locked out as well.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's going to be mirror matched as well. I'd be very surprised if it isn't. Guys in the chat, let us know who you think is going to pull this one. It's hard. It is really hard. I'm going to lean... I'm going to go Regal. I'm going to go Regal. I don't know. I just got that feeling.
Got the bottle.
I just got that feeling.
Got the feeling, the Friday feeling. It's even a Monday. I don't know what that's about. The Monday feeling. What did we say last quarter? What was it?
Saturday Night Fever. That was you.
That was crap, wasn't it? I won't say that one again.
Well, here we go. Into round number 9. Cougar's trying to get some shots off yet. With the Boltok, Crazed is there to answer back, though. No kills landed. Plenty of damage, but nobody able to get the upper hand here. And here comes the push up top from Elevate. Cougar's not in the best of spots, but there you go. That might open things up. Zorkos is going to be able to grab the long shot as well. Some windy Boltok shots from Cougars, but the damage is done. Not quite enough, though. They found the kill, but they haven't been able to find the position on E. It may come in a second, though. Crazed is going to start getting pinned down by this Boltok. Cougar's not landing, but the threat is enough to allow Regal Reserve to grab a hold of E.
Yeah, that's huge. And they're going to be careful now. Krima is actually pushing across behind them towards this airfield with number 9. That's Hydrone pushing over with them. They've got a 2v2 there. But Hydrone might be getting flanked here as Cougars is coming through. Doesn't matter, though. Jack Reaction is going to fall quick. And actually, if you are Regal Reserve, this is actually not the fantastic situation you want to find yourself in here. The double kills come in. Cougars has come in now, and he's got himself pinched. He tried to make the play. In the end, he's the one getting played upon.
Oh, and he's now being captured as well. Nobody on F.
Yeah, this is big for Elevate.
Really, really good position here. Regal Reserve need to find a couple of kills, and they need to find them desperately, but everybody seems to be dropping. Zorkos and Jack are gone. If you're Regal, you need to find something very, very quickly, as Elevate are going to start closing the gap. Cougars does find a kill on the Hydron, but Crimson's finds 2 over towards F. The domination's starting to tick on in. Is it going to be enough? You need to get him out. You do get him down, and they will get F back. That was a scary moment for Regal.
It really was. And look at the point lead. For all you've done on that opening fight, you've lost it all now. You're 30 points behind. You've only got 1 hill to your name. Fractures did try and make that quick push round to that D hill, but didn't have time. Now might find a quick pick here, gets the knife out. Phelpsy falls, and that's great from Fractures, finding that opening pick. A 5v4 now
goes
for Regal Reserve. You've got to ask, what can they do now? The flashbangs are going to go out. Fractures, though, he's going to go down if he carries on that push. Got to back off, got to get himself healthy here. And the lives are all that matters now. Jack reaction down to 0. Physics down to 0. They cannot die again.
It was a flurry of kills that came in from Elevate. And Regal Reserve are just not covering their back enough yet. Elevate just seem to have their number now. This has not really been something that Elevate have been successful with in the past few rounds. Yeah, you overextend if you're Regal.
Get to D. Who's number? Cougars has been sat in that mid for so long. He could have been on this D hill about 10 seconds ago. And they're just point after point after point. 200 to 150 now. The D cap's going to come in on D. That's big. That forces Elevate to move back here, but still 40 seconds to go for. Still, they're going to have to try and play for this D cap on the FL, on the on the D hill as well. And Elevate look like they've locked it in.
Jack trying to land the snipe. I don't think it's going to matter too much. The domination about to tick on through. Oh, it doesn't. Not quite. Regal survive. But is it going to matter? Fractures drops as well towards E. It will not matter. Elevate will get it done in round number 9. And honestly, just some really good rotational play. They win their gunfights where they need to. And it comes down to that big 2v2 near the start of the round over towards F. They won it cleanly. And that's what gets it done. That pressure just mounts. And it continues. And it's so hard for Regal Reserve to fight back. But as you said, we didn't see enough overextension from them. That might have made the difference in that situation. But in the end, it is going to be Elevate to take map number 1 in a very, very close game. Round number 9 is what it came down to. Thoughts? Because I know what you mean. It seems as if Elevate are always a step ahead. They're always thinking ahead of what we should be doing. If we do lose this fight, what should we be doing? Whereas Regal didn't seem to have that. They didn't seem to have the intuition to say, well, we've just lost F. Let's overextend so we can try and take some of that pressure off. Because the problem is if you're fighting for F, if you're fighting for E, you're just outspawned and soaking into the land fight of guys who are just posted up. Whereas if you overextend, they have to send somebody back. So then you at least have some sort of number advantage coming out of your spawn. But I don't know.
And you saw at the end how scrappy it got. As soon as Cougars got to that home hill of Elevate, all the hills were swapping back and forth and back and forth. And at that point, if you can do that a couple of times when they make that play, you've probably done enough to actually keep yourself in it, to keep the points very, very even. And then it just comes down to, okay, who wins the fights? Where do those hills lay at the end of things? But with such a big point lead, you basically have to hold all 3 hills away from Elevate, and that's an impossible task at that point. Elevate played that very, very well on that round 9. They had a game plan. The game plan was to get that home hill off of the hands of Regal Reserve. They did exactly that, and that's why they've come out with the win.
Yeah, it was really, really well played. Executed it perfectly. In the end, I think it does come down to a couple of gunfights here and there. We didn't really get to see too much of it over towards F, but it's just a really, really big win. But I think Crimson's got the 2 kills in the air, but he did have a teammate up with him as well. But even then, they get it initially, then they lose it. But then once again, they're not even thinking about E for the most part. They're just straight over towards F. They know they're just taking resources away consistently. Regal seemed to be doing great when it was a level playing field where there's the center line down the middle of the map. You set up, you find that first kill, then you take over where you need to and you just hold it down. But when it came to having to maybe rotate back or rotate a different direction, go past that center line, they seem to struggle. They seem to struggle a little bit, so maybe that is something for them to look into. Maybe we're just talking rubbish. Who knows? I just think that maybe they weren't the ones who were willing to adapt. Elevate, where they were the proactive team. They are the team that won map number 1. We will now be going over towards Vaskar. with Regal down 1-0. They'd be happy that it's Vasgar, I think. The way that they played this map, it's more like how I would have wanted them to play Bunker in that scenario. They're very good at rotating around. They're so good at doing it. They just make them... They basically have the other team chasing their tail all the way around the map. I would like to see them maybe do that a little bit more on Bunker, but if they can do it here on Vasgar, they get a very, very good chance to send us to map number 3.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually thought Bunker was going to be way more one-sided than I just saw. I thought Vasgar might be the close one. So actually, I feel like the 2-1 that we mentioned at the beginning actually might come through now, because Vasgar, they did look very, very good, and it did Regal Reserve last time they played this. They beat Rated R on it very, very convincingly, and realistically, Elevate. They had the opportunity to lose that. They clutched up in the end, and they found the rounds they needed. But they definitely had an opening there where, Regal Reserve, they were matching them, and they were, maybe a round or two out. Realistically, if it had been a gone to first to 7 again, maybe we see a different winner in that. So it's one of those things where, yes, Elevate do come out with a map, but it was nowhere near convincing, and it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it really could have. You go back to that round where Phelps, he found those 4 kills as well. If he doesn't do that, which way does that round go? It's always a query of, it comes down to small margins, and these two teams relatively evenly matched before we head into map number 2. I'm interested now, though. I did think that Elevate would win this map. I know I said when we got to round 9, I just had a feeling that Regal would snatch it, but my overall prediction was that Elevate would go on to win Bunker, at least anyway. Yep. Now it goes into Vasgar. I did think Regal would be able to win this map if they play like how they did last week. They obviously can match Elevate to a point when it comes to these gunfights. Fractures had a very good game there, especially in the second half. If they can do that on this map, albeit a very, very different map, they've got a very, very good chance of sending us to map number 3 when we go to District, where, honestly, I haven't got a clue which way that one will go. So, very interested. Very interested to see how this one plays out. Or Elevate could smoke them 5-1 here, and you probably wouldn't question it. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's just we're at such an unknown quantity in Europe right now, where we don't really know where everyone sort of stands yet.
Yeah, it's true. And one thing Vasgar does offer for Regal Reserve is that they can get Physics in that more of a supporting position. He doesn't have to be kind of facing up in the face of Elevate. He can be on that sniper. He can be on those long range weapons supporting the team. And if he can hit some shots like he did last time he was on Vasgar, it might be a different game here. Elevate got to be very, very careful that they are, not taking this too lightly. We saw actually Regal Reserve. They respected that snipe placement from Elevate, so much so that they had to put it down in the middle of the map to fight for it rather than give it Elevate for free. Yeah, I think the same respect needs to be given to Physics here on the snipe, to Jack Reaction actually on the snipe as well, because they alternate that pickup and both of them can hit headshots. And both of them are, have been very, very good on this map and on that weapon so far this year, this quarter. It's one of the things I'll be looking out for in this game for sure is, what do they build up into? Who do they give it to? Because there's also the opportunity that they go M-Bar and give it to Fractures or Cougars. Yeah, we know how good they are. So the long-range weaponry is something that I'll be very interested to keep an eye of and see who's building into it and, where it's going on the map.
Yeah. It is something that comes into fruition on this map, isn't it? It's more so than other maps. I say, we sometimes see the Talkbow coming in on here as well, and it comes down to some of these long range fights. There is these big long sight lines with not a lot of cover in places, so it really can be a really, really big factor in this map. But we are starting to get loaded in as far as I'm aware. Hopefully we'll be good to go shortly. Honestly, which way does this go? Do you think Regal take this, or do you think this is 2-0 Elevate now?
I think Regal take my original prediction. Yeah. I'm going to stay 2-1 to Elevate, and I believe Regal will come out and take this one. They've given me enough reason to believe that these guys can take a map now. If they play that way, if they haven't let that first loss get to them, why not? Why not give them this map?
Yeah, I think so. They would have known that this was their... Well, obviously, this is their pick. Bunker was Elevate, so they pushed them far. So they will have confidence going into map number 2. This is how things have broken down so far. Elevate 5-4 up in map number 1. Take the victory. We move on to Vasgar. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Regal, but again, it's one of those maps that we know how good Elevate are. They very much could win this one. They very much could, and we probably wouldn't question it too much, but it is Regal's pick, and they would like to be sealing this one and sending us to a map number 3, most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. Let us know, obviously, in the chat who you're rooting for as well, because it'll be interesting to see which way the fan vote goes as well, because we always give our opinion, and now we've got the predictions actually built into the stream at live.gearsofwar.com. We can see exactly who's voting for what. Last time around, actually, let's go over the first match while we're waiting for this one to load in. Obey versus Rated R. 56% actually voted for Obey to win that one, so that's kind of an interesting one. Obviously, we can't see who voted for what just yet because this one's not over, but I'm guessing there's quite a lot of Elevate fans out there. I've seen a lot in the chat room so far. And likewise, Regal Reserve. They're usually out in force to support their team, so be an interesting one nonetheless to see which way that one goes. Yeah, I think we're pretty split here on the desk as well, or lack of a desk.
We don't need a desk, mate. We don't need it. Mostly, the chat has been essentially half of the Gears community just going at each other, which I'm all for.
Hey, this is exactly what it's about. This is Gears. Yeah. This is Gears in its prime. We love it.
What? The Twitch prime. The Twitch prime. I will not talk about that too much. You can't. But it's one of these things where everyone's just going at each other, and I'm all here for it. I've been watching the chat. I've been keeping an eye. Yeah, I see you. Don't worry. I see you. Be careful. No slander. No slander. Anyway.
Chris Tunn's top 5 trash talks of the week will be coming up this week. It'll all be against Rowdy.
It won't be. It won't be.
Death Dancer. He's always involved in it all, isn't he?
He's always here.
Mr. Gears EU himself.
I thought that was Toby Campbell.
No. Toby Campbell's top 5 PC player.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Anyway. Crimson's cleans up the kill in the first one on the board for Elevate here. As they may not win the locations anyway. They do lose B and C, but they will now get C back. Will back on down. And of course, with Operation 3, Cole is back in the game, which we love to see. Crimson's rocking the new skin. Anyway, here comes the push from Regal Reserve. Flashes coming through over the top. Can't quite get anything done here, Elevate. They are going to have to back on down, but some of the damage is already done.
I've not actually seen that skin yet. It's nice. I like it.
It looks like a bit of a warm get-up for...
Yeah, for Vasgar, you've not got the right clothes. You're going to overheat
in the desert. I mean,
pretty quickly.
What people wear in airports is a topic I could go into, but I won't.
Yeah,
but it's just know that it's something I would like to discuss at some point.
Changing gears.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah. Okay, let's try and not lose the plot.
Focus.
B and C in the hands of Regal Reserve now. Trying to get things done in round number 1. Elevate are fighting back though. Zokus is going to go down, so maybe that's going to be the indicator for Elevate to now push. I mean, Fractures couldn't be the worst spot in all fairness. He does have his teammate trying to help him out. Physics is able to clean up on high ground, but Crazed is there to answer back. This will now be Elevate picking up B. Cougars, though, is going to overextend over towards A. We like to see that from him. We hopefully will see the rest of Reserve off the spawn, protecting C where they can. Cougars gets butted up and will get taken down. In comes Phelpsy from the stairs. Shots going in with the Lancer where he can, landing absolutely nothing, but the pressure is there. They will get a hold of it. Elevate somewhat in control.
Yeah, you'd say that. I mean, they're looking pretty good. They've got a good setup here, actually, and they're having to force Regal back towards their own C Hill. C Hill will be broken soon by Jackfex, you believe, actually. Good break there. The B Hill does go the way of Regal Reserve, so as things rotate around, it is going to be the C Hill that will be contested next. As you can see, Regal Reserve off spawn, using that beautiful spawn protection to their advantage here, just forcing their way through. Actually, though, Crimson's and Phelpsy, they do get a couple, and the domination is actually threatened a little bit. There is a 2v2 going on at the A Hill as well as this fight going on here, so we are keeping track of both at once. The pincer's going to come in from Physics. Physics actually might have just pincered himself here as he gets stuck between Elevate on the high ground, Elevate on the low ground. Phelpsy finds that down. There's no push in retaliation, really, from Regal Reserve, and actually, you can see Jack's going to fall here. He gets down by Zorkos. It might just be enough, actually, by Regal. They've done enough to secure this one. God knows how, but they have.
Good lord. They've just about done enough. Nice round out of Regal, though. They get the first one on the board. And that was just a bit of a to and fro, wasn't it? There was nothing necessarily about out-rotating each other. They just made sure they won their gunfights over towards C, which it does quite often come down to that. It's the position where, where they're coming off spawn, it's quite easy to Lancer in. Of course, they do get the protection, but It quite often does come down to the fight over at C. Regal Reserve this time around, though, will come out on top of that. Elevate having to fight back here.
Yep, that's it. Well, we saw the same thing last map, right? Regal Reserve starting strong. A couple of rounds went Elevate's way after that as they found their footing in the map. Right now, though, Elevate just looking to get their first one on. It was all about the control there, and we said it before. You said it before. Regal Reserve, they play that control game very, very well. They managed to find themselves points. They managed to keep that counter ticking. And that's what it's all about on Vaskar. You're so quick to get to the ring, so quick to get to the next ring that it's not often about those dominations. It's more about how many points do you have and how many rings can you keep flowing into your pocket at one time. So far, Regal Reserve, they look to be the ones in the better position once again. They've got that B hill. They've managed to win the fight over there. And over at this, this kind of mid zone actually between their two home hills, we do see a 4v4 situation. First down on Phelpsy. That should be a revive coming in now. Fractures moving down to the sandbags. Trying to get a bit of damage down from a corner, but has maybe put himself in a bad spot here. Does find the pay, but Phelpsy takes him out in the end, and Craze is pushing very, very aggressively up through this choke point, and this is the difficult bit for Elevate. You've managed to find your way up onto the terrace now. How do you go past that? How do you push further forward? First step, force whoever this is on the right-hand side to die. It is Jack. He's going to fall. Cougars falls as well. This is good now from Elevate.
Hydra trying to push through up towards the stairs. Isn't going to be able to quite get enough done for his team to get a hold of A, but they are getting B while this is going on. Elevate. They're distracting. Oh my word, speaking of distracted, Crazed is distracted, as is Fractures, as Hydron comes around behind, finds two. They knew he was there as well, but yet he still finds two. Phelpsy not going to be quite picked up here as the boys on Regal Reserve do eventually defend well enough to keep a hold of A and get the push out towards C. They will be able to lock this in as well. They're sending men over towards B. Regal now trying to fight back. They do have the lead here.
They do indeed. I thought Physics was going to play a little bit of a sneaky game there, but no. Elevate, they've left it. They don't really care. They're pushing so aggressively around that top side. They will find a kill. They will shut down Reaction as he falls. 4v5 situation now. Regal gonna have to try and push up through this terrace. No, Hydron's gonna shut down Cougars there. This should be a decap for him.
He will get the decap and then start to focus everything over towards B. They need it done because Regal Reserve will win up a one cap here. Jack needs to try and win some gunfights, and he is sent to the shadow realm there by Fractures. Really nice shooting. Crimson's now trying to get it done as well. If you're Regal, you just need to hold on for another 15 seconds. Phelpsy and Chris both dropping, though. They should be able to lock this one in. This should be 2-0. Crimson's trying to slip the net yet. I tell you what, he does find one. Not going to find much else, though. The elimination ticking on 3. Regal, 2 to the good now. Looking good on their map.
Yeah, looking very good. And this is exactly how they started out against Rated R. They just managed to find the wins, claw their way through, keep that point lead ticking, and they're very, very good at it. Their defense there on one hill was strong. Elevate, normally they can, they can find that break, they can find that way through. Just a few seconds remaining, but this time around, Fractures opening that kill on Jack makes it so difficult for Elevate to continue that push, especially knowing that they've got to jump down that drop down and find a way to fight that tank fight right in the face of Regal Reserve. Regal Reserve with a numbers advantage as well. Good round from them. Very, very good round. And now only 3 to go until they lock in this first map, the second map, sorry, against Elevate. They'll want to continue how they are starting this one. They've looked very, very strong.
Well, we're starting to lead towards that sniper being available for both these two teams. Cougars with some ambitions scoping out here. I'm sure he's just tacking people up, trying to get as much information as they can as they make the push over towards B. Hydron throws the grenades, backs on down. We're expecting a big push coming out of Regal Reserve over towards A as a slow round does start.
Be expecting, be expecting this push from Elevate in just a second. You see the flashbangs going out. That's a good flashbang from Cougars. Just find that revive on Zorkos. Cougars trying to keep himself healthy here. Zorkos does find one kill, but it's going to be Elevate. Killing machine does start to get going now, and they do trade out. 2 versus 2 now.
They do, but they can't actually make. Yeah, they can't make the drop back to B. That's the problem. And Regal are here in numbers and have an angle on it, so they may have won the gunfights, but they need to win a second round to get control of it.
See them now. They're just backing out towards that tank. That should be a kill on Hydra, and if they can get there quick enough, they can indeed. Reactions here. Does find one. Does get the down on second. That will be the kill cleanup, and now he's going to go for the cap as he sits in the hill. Phelpsy will be pushing that flashbang out, and here comes Jack once again. Reaction. Just try and find that kill on Crazed. Doesn't manage to get anything actually in Crazed. Giving him the runabout at the back of this tank here. Phelpsy's there with him as well, but it looks to be Regal Reserve, at least doing the better of this fight so far. Elevate are back off spawn though, and see the numbers on the minimap. They are going Elevate's way, but the kills are going Regal's way. Crimson's just found a flank here, but great Lancer Fire shuts him down. And that's going to be the end of it for Elevate. This should be Regal Reserve pushing forward, but a team kill coming in from Jack Reaction doesn't help things here. Fractures falls to him, as does Crazed. Jack Vex is going to die as well. Nope. The revive comes out, but in a very, very sticky situation here.
Oh, well, Cougars eventually does find that, but I like this from Regal. Keeping Elevate at bay. Cougars on 0 respawns. Putting the shots in where he can, though. Really good shots on the Hydra, and in the end may just be slowing this inevitable B capture from Elevate, though. Because they're now going to have to back hunt down. Cougars has to be careful here. 0 lives at this point. Still got another round and a half. I don't think it would be Cougars without the risk, would it? In fairness.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They can kind of get away with it if it's just Cougars, you know? Like, they can kind of keep him alive somewhat. But the whole team has got to go with him.
Now Elevate having to get something back here. Flashes coming in at it. Big fight coming. Cougars and Kodo in a really good spot. He pushes forward far too quickly though, and you gotta wonder why is he the first one there. He's now out of this round, and Elevate have a 5v4 on their hands. If you're Regal Reserve, I think you probably choked this one. Cougars should not be the first one through the door there. That's an oversight.
Yeah, there's something to be said there about not changing how you play just because you're down on lives, but the end of things, when you're Cougars and you're the first one in and you're pretty much guaranteed to be trading yourself out, because that's just how fights go in Gears, change places, switch with someone else. You've got to do it, because otherwise, your team's 5v4 situation. In the end, though, it doesn't really matter. Elevate, they've done enough to close that one out very, very quickly anyway. It was a good comeback. Got themselves back in this game. A 3-0 would have been a terrible scoreline for Elevate. A 2-1, not so bad. Smoke grenade getting placed there, and nothing much building up here right now. We're just seeing early doors Vazgar.
Yeah, and honestly, in this round, you have to be looking towards the lives once again. If Cougars overcommits, which I can't imagine he will. I mean, I say that. He might. If he overcommits, then suddenly they're in a position once again where they're fighting with less numbers, and it's never a position you want to be in, especially in Gears. It makes such a difference. You can literally just trade out and you're always going to win. Unless some big players come from the other team. Crimson's dodging and diving as best as he can. Topsy and Kodo setting up for a push over towards it. C-spawn belongs to them, so this is an overextend. There comes the flash. That's going to force Crimson's back at least, but the rest of the team are here to fight. Jack is going to drop Hydron, but it's not going to be enough to clean it up. Crimson's drops back. Now we'll push forward with full force. A should be locked in. But that rotation, you can see in the top right corner, the minimap. Everyone from Regal Reserve moving around C, back towards B. Elevate going to have the numbers to defend it.
Interesting move here, actually. Deciding they don't want to fight on that backside of A, and instead they're going to try and force down from the high ground onto this B hill. But we saw how difficult it was for Elevate to push that last round. This time around, though, Fractures having none of it, getting all the way stuck in there. Gets that opening kill on Hydron. Now a 5v4 situation for the time being. There's a 2v1 in the middle of the map as well, so looks like Jack Vex is going to fall. Phelps is going to go down. B hill will be capped up here by Regal Reserve, and now Regal, they're here to make their move onto this A hill. They've got a 2v1 situation. Crimson's is going to go down, which should mean they can push up forward here, push up fast.
Luckily for Elevate, they are coming off the spawn and will be able to get a hold of C fairly easily, so the domination will not be able to take on through, but the damage is done if you're Regal. You are pushed through, but look at the rotation over towards B. That's really nice from Elevate. And after all of that, what looked likely to be at least a 2-cap for Regal. There's a 2-cap for Elevate. They come off spawn, they get C, they come off spawn, they get B. As Regal Reserve are moving around as a pack, but you need to find the gunfights fairly cleanly, if anything, and just keep on running through. And that's the situation they didn't, but now they posture, now they get ready to make a move over towards C. The flashes come through. And here come the kills, potentially. Physics is the first one down, but Jack will find a kill onto Crazed. Hydron answers back with a kill onto him. Elevate defending well and will win this round in 20 seconds. Jack backing on down. Trying to get something done for his team, his reaction. C now is going to go over towards Regal Reserve, but they need more than that. They need to push through the B. They need to push around quickly. Is anybody from the rest of the team making that push towards the B site? There was one. He's dead already, though. Crims is defending B. This will be enough for Elevate to tie this one up. Unless Zorkos can get there in 5 seconds. Nope. Crimson's ready and waiting. That will be 2-2 at the half. Nicely done by Elevate there.
Yeah, very, very nicely defended there. Crimson's does manage to take his 1v1. Jack had him very, very red. Reaction had him very, very red. But in the end, Crimson's just does come up with that kill. Managed to find it. And that's the security that they needed. That 1v1, that meant they didn't have to worry too much about that A-hill, sorry. And Crimson's, once again, being that rock for his team, being that stability there that they can rely on in that 1v1 spot, in that a home hill spot on other maps. Here it's more of a defending spot. 2-2 now the scoreline. Incendiary's going to go down on both sides. Boltox in support as well, so still a very, very even setup here for both teams. No one really going too crazy with anything.
Nothing too crazy yet. Hopefully things do get a little bit more crazy though. We do like to see some weapons dropped on this map at least. Give me something to shout and scream about. Give me something just to piss the missus off downstairs.
Drop shot in the middle. Bang in the middle. That'd be something.
Oh yeah, she'd be losing her head if I lose my head. And then subsequently I'd probably lose my head afterwards. Either way, yep. Phelpsy trying to find heads himself. Physics is going to drop, but that's as far as he got. ENF now belonging to Elevate as we do switch the positions around ever so slightly. Having the back on down here though. The shots were good enough. Will back down. Elevate do have control, albeit not quite as solid as they would like to. Jack and Koda pushing through. That's a couple of kills, make it 2. Push over towards E, coming through from Cougars. Potential domination being lined up here by Regal Reserve. It is going to be denied, and that will be towards F. Elevate now going to make a push off their spawn. Will get a hold of their home hill. Physics backs off, right thing to do, but Regal Reserve get what they came for. That is control of the map. Physics not backing off nearly enough. He's just about going to survive it, though.
Nope.
Only for about 2 seconds, yeah.
I don't know what he's thinking there.
Yeah, I know, it was such a weird spot. He was like, just like, oh, I'm being shot. This is fine. This is fine. I'm dead.
Yeah, and also, his teammate could have body blocked for him. There's a lot of things there that just didn't go right, to be honest with Regal. They'll want that one back. In the end, though, doesn't matter too much. Jack's going to get taken down here by Phelps. He does get pincered, actually, by Hydron on the opposite side as well, so good play there by Elevate, finding that odd man out. Cougar's going to get landed across. Basically across the void there. No one drops down in there. Such a dangerous place to be. Fight's all about these outside areas.
Crazed and Co now trying to get F back. Momentarily, Regal Reserve have found themselves in the position, have the win condition. Crazed and Co trying their best to get a hold of it, will do so, but E now. Big fight coming up here. Jack pushing forward towards Hydron, gets the first shot in, but the team fire coming out of Elevate is solid. And nobody from Regal Reserve there to back Jack up, so win condition back over towards Elevate now.
Yep, bit of a fight at the FL. Good incendiary there by Fractures. Finds that kill on Jack Fex straight away. They're just going to force this FL to go over into Regal Reserve's hands. Elevate rotating all the way around the top side of the map. Trying to push around towards this D hill, and Regal Reserve look to be matching them. They look to be fighting here for this one. Zorkos in a bit of an unorthodox position, we'll say. As he's now going to move up, support his teammate now. You can see the flashbang's going to come in. No push follows, though. The fight on the other side of things is going down. It looks like Phelps is opening up once again. He's found himself a double kill. He's out scotch-free. No health lost whatsoever. And now he's running through that mid-zone, that no man's land to try and help support this fight at the opposite side. Should be able to get a 1v1 situation out of it. He has got teammate in tow. Jack Fex here helping out. Phelpsy pushing up with that Boltok. They should find this decap very, very quickly now, and it forces Regal Reserve onto the defense.
Regal have to start moving.
Yes,
it's over towards D. There's a big fight going over towards D, which Regal Reserve have won. But the COG team win condition is there. They've done enough. Elevate from the brink there in that round. Will get it done 3-2 now. Very, very close round in the end. 3.5 minutes it took to get us there. Elevate just about get there. And could that be the tide turning on Vazcott? Regal should have locked that in, you feel. That's a tough one.
Yep. Yeah. It is a very tough one. And, you know, it all comes down to just a couple of shots here and there. They did well to hold that. Cougars did well to get his toe in there just to try and delay that cap. But in the end, he was 2v1. Couldn't find a kill. Elevate do take that round. Now, what are we going to see? Some utility grades going down on the COG side of things. Swarm probably looking to even things out there. You do see those utilities going down. Once again, both teams keeping it as neutral as they can possibly keep it.
Well, here we go. Could Elevate find that 2-round difference? It could be big. It could be massive for them. They really do not want to let Rated R get any further away. 3-0 right now. If they go on to lose against Regal, you're in a tough spot for the rest of the season. Hydro and Co, though. 1 round away from making it. Only 1 round away from winning the series.
Yeah.
That's just odd. I could have just said 2 rounds away there. But here we go. This is a really, really big round is what I'm trying to say. Regal Reserve need this one. Push over towards F is coming in from Elevate, though. They will be able to lock this one in. It just seems as if they've got their number, Regal Elevate, haven't they? They just seem to know exactly where they're going. Phelpsy? What the hell is that with?
Guessing the ball talk. I can only imagine.
Massive plays out of Phelpsy. Physics is going to follow his teammates back to the respawn queue. D and F now. In the hands of Elevate. I do not know. I have no idea what happened there. Good lord.
I think Phelpsy was just, he found the angle on a couple of weak opponents and then just, yeah, took that chance, ripped their faces. That's what you want from those with the ball talk. If you can hit them in the head. Hell of a lot of damage. Talking to hit him in the head. There's one from Cougars.
Answering back. I'll taste your own medicine if you're Phelpsy there, as Cougars hits him with a big, meaty bolt-on shot in the face. Crazed, does he push too far? It was Jack, sorry. With Crazed there up at D, they will get a hold of D here. Regal Reserve, and they will keep on rolling.
You got to think there. Another 8 or 9 seconds there where Regal were just stood next to the D hill, ticking down. All of them want to try and get the kill, and it's cost them. It's cost them a lot of points there.
It's maybe taken a little bit too long for them. E is now the only thing Elevate do have. And we'll have to make a push somewhere. It's looking like D is the angle. Cougars should get shut down here. Oh, how has he found anything? How has he found anything there?
Absolutely
He's done
no
so
right
well.
To.
No, absolutely no right to. You're very right.
Physics has gone down very, very easy. Good Lancerfire there from Elevate. Flashbang's coming up now. Jack can't really make good of it, though. Fractures does have a flashbang of his own to throw back if needs be. There it goes. Counter flashing as they do push forward now. Jack makes a good rotation round and finds that kill, and Physics falls. Fractures is down now. And Elevate, they seem to be finding the kills once again.
Jack on
kills, he drops down. Oh, there we go. I'm going to call it a drop shot. He was dropping and he shot. Crimson's finds another 1v1 as well.
Yeah. Jack reaction on 0 respawns here as well. This is a bad spot if you're Regal. You stare him down the barrel of a 2-0 defeat here. Has to be said, Elevate seem to have found another gear. They're the only ones getting points on the board right now. Jack gone out of the rest of this round, which will only last 5 more seconds, incidentally. But there you go. Elevate, match point. 42 up now. That's 4 rounds in a row. Regal started so well, but it has fallen apart. This one might be over a lot quicker than we expected.
Yeah, and it looks so good actually for Regal. Elevate, they looked poor in those opening 2 rounds, but something's changed. I've not got my finger on it just yet, but something did change, and I think that tilt of a round where it was 248 to 250.
Yeah,
that's got to hurt if you're Regal Reserve. That's the difference between a tied game now and a 4-2 against series point game.
Disable's gonna come in on both incends initially. Elevate looking to punch that ticket here. Getting things done and dusted is the plan. 5-2 would be a nice scoreline, especially on this map, especially against Regal. It'll feel good. They want to lock this one in now, and I don't know what it is. They just seem to, as said, it ever since round number 3, they just seem to maybe have downloaded what Regal Reserve are doing, put it all together and said, right, this is how we beat them, and it's just a Lancer They're not taking fights they don't need to. See, they have control of F there. They just back off. They let them have it. Look at the minimap in the top right corner. 3 members of Elevate rotating around towards D here. Maybe a little bit slow to it, as Regal are set up, have the cover. Flash is going to have to be good. Crimson's gets running. The Flash comes back, countered by Elevate. Backwards and forwards the Flashes go. Who actually can see right now? Because I can't. Crimson's trying to push them through. D is looking like it's going to go over towards Regal Reserve. Crimson's and Crazed both dropped. Phelpsy and Hydron have to back on down. Hydron is going to be able to find a kill around the wall though onto Cougars. Good shots with the Bulltalk by Phelpsy. Can't quite clean it up, and then he's going to make the push for it as well. Will get dropped. That is, yeah, I know you're going to say it, a little bit overzealous there.
I was not going to say it as nicely as that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It was a bit
that was potentially the biggest hammerhead I've seen all quarter. That was ridiculous. But fair play to him. He thought he could get it. He didn't. And things are still pretty much even because of it. So, oh well. Oh well. Overzealous. We'll go with that one.
Man, I'm just like big words, you know.
Yeah. Big brain plays. It was not.
It was not.
No, everyone in the corner. What's going on? Get out of the corner. Make a rotation. Make a play.
Hydron and Koda. They do have that slight advantage that Jack is now on 0 respawns. So if your action goes down again over the course of around that, he probably has about a minute left in it. You've got to be careful of your reaction now.
Yeah. Definitely so. Definitely so. But Regal, they're looking good. They got that 50-point lead here. Cog do win in 60 seconds time, so they do need a break. Do Regal Reserve. It looks like they're going for the break on the F hill. Only one person there though right now to try and get that down. Hydron does fall. Let's go down, but gets picked up pretty much straight away. Still, the decap doesn't come in. Cougars chasing straight into the middle. Both going to go down in the middle. And now it's a foot race. Jesus Christ. That was a slip of the tongue. And it's a foot race, everyone. Let me clear that one up right now as they make their way into the middle. Oh, dear me. Baltok's coming out from Cougars. No one clipped that one. That'll be the end of me.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But they did get that decap, and Swarm will win in 10 seconds' time.
The Swarm win condition is very much there. It's going to have to be a perfect round out of Elevate. They need D as well. They're going to have to get running. They're pushing from all angles here, though. 10 seconds to go. A big flash, a big push is what's needed. Jack needs to go. He's the one that's lingering around behind. Is he enough there for the decap? Surely not. There it is.
Like this.
The decap is in. Cog team will win in 10 seconds. Regal, can they get it back in time? They're already over towards F as well. E is being decapped. This one is a Regal Reserve round. Yes, it is, eventually. 4-3 now. We're going to talk about it? We're going to talk about the foot race?
No, we're not talking about it. No, I'm done for today.
Oh.
I'm not safe around these streams anymore, Ton. Oh, dear me. Good round by Regal, though. Let's talk about that one. They locked it in at the end. They managed to find those kills. Could have quite easily gone the other way. Jack did a big play there to try and...
it was like he was sort of like hiding, waiting for the moment to push through, undetected somewhat.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very good round. Keeping themselves in it. Reaction kept himself alive, and yeah, in the end, Regal still fighting their way through here. 4-3 now the score. Elevate 1 round away from winning this 2-0. Regal Reserve will not want that to happen, especially after such a good performance in map 1. They took Elevate all the way, went to that round 9. In the end, Elevate did clutch up on that one, but Regal Reserve here to play. Definitely looking like a better squad this quarter, Tunnen. Liking what I'm seeing from this squad. Elevate as well. Looks like they've stepped up their game as well from that first week. Last week, a good series against Obey Alliance. This round against Regal has been equally as impressive.
And it's a good Vasgar from them as well, which they will be happy with. It's not done yet, but we were really expecting a Regal win here. Just after how good they looked last week. But Elevate now. trying to close this one out. Phelpsy finds 2 with the Incend, but clapping back is Cougars. Finds 2 with the Nasher. And now D is going to be captured. He's trying to line up shots with the Boltok here, but will just do his job back here now. Shots going in, trying to help his teammates out. Not working, as everybody's dropping, and he's somewhat full-centered down the ramp. Isn't able to find anything. The swarm domination ticking on through, though. Even though the kills momentarily went towards Elevate, D will go back towards Elevate, though, and they should be able to get this one scot-free. The push over towards E is already happening as well. Hydron is here. Is he going to
letting that E-hill go so easy. That was a mistake from Regal.
Yeah.
They were not quick enough to the punch there, and that was a very, very easy, uncontested decap there from Hydron. That's going to even things out a little bit here. You can see him pushing up now. Good Incend coming out there, though, by reaction. Does open up the kill, and this should be a cap now for Regal Reserve as they look to cap up this E-hill. They have already got the point lead, and with this hill, they might as well be extending it pretty far here. 50 points ahead already. Zorkos pushing up now. Should have the flank through the mid as well if he wants it.
Chris is going to find fractures, but once again, reaction is in that precarious position of 0 respawns, and he's not going to be able to influence many fights as much as you would like. It's going to be a case of sit back, Lancer. But right now, Elevate are going to get a hold of F here. That should be enough for them to have the win condition, I do believe. Yep. Cogsy win condition pops up. Cougars, though, raining hellfire with the Boltok. He's going to drop 2 players, but it's not quite enough to clean them up. Phelpsy, keep an eye on him. He will have a hold of that Incend. Jack, I tell you what, Jack wasn't the only one that was in danger. Physics and fractures are gone as well. I hadn't even noticed. It's a 3v5 now. Regal Reserve are falling apart.
They are indeed. If they can find a kill or 2, they might be all right, but they've really got to go clutch mode here. E-hill is in defense here. You can see Cougars, he's got 1 actually. Might be able to get the second. No. Crazed, too experienced to let that one happen. That's another kill going down, and this should be about it. This should be an elimination victory for Elevate here as they lock in Vazgar 5-3. They win the series 2-0. What a performance by Elevate. Fantastic series.
Really well played by Elevate. And honestly, I got completely caught off guard there. I was too busy concentrating on the fact that Jack had 0 respawns to notice that there was 2 other players on the side of Regal Reserve that were also there. But look at those numbers. Slaying-wise, Phelpsy was 23 kills, 24 assists out of him there. I don't think there's going to be much of a debate who MVP is this week after that play on Bunker and huge numbers on Vazgar. Phelpsy really wanted that one. Sensational play out of Elevate in general. 5-4, 5-3. The map scores against Regal Reserve. And nicely done. That's a big win for them. That's a big win.
Yep. Yeah. A slipped round or 2 here, a slip map or 2 here could have been the difference actually at the end of things. They've got to keep pace with Rated R. They've got to find these wins, have Elevate. And another 2-0 in the books. That's exactly what you'd want at this point. Fantastic series for them. And as you said, Phelpsy, what a performance from him. He only had 10 deaths as well. So it was like 45 and 10. Yeah, as you said, with that quad as well.
Ridiculous.
Fantastic.
Ridiculous match from Phelpsy. I'm not going to say put the team in the bad by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely the standout performer in a group of very, very good players, and that is no mean feat to be standing out in a crowd of players like Elevate. But let's have a look at the standings and how they now look. Rated R still at the top, but hot on the tail is Elevate. There is a gap probably going to start developing as well. Once again, Regal Reserve find themselves in that 3rd position. Will want to continue fighting against Rated R and Elevate, though. They have it in their ability. They absolutely do. We've seen them push these teams very, very close. If they can maybe scratch up a little bit, then they'll be in a good position to try and challenge Rated R and Elevate a little bit more. But I still think there is that line somewhat. Rated R 3, Elevate 2 and 1. Regal Reserve, as I said, a little bit of work to do. OB Alliance, a lot of work to do. That's the halfway point for.
Yeah, that is the halfway point, and I think if you're Regal, you're in a bit of a tough spot. If you think about the round 9s they've had, they could have taken a map here from Elevate today. They could have flipped the tables on Rated R as well last week.
Yep.
Regal Reserve with 2 more rounds under their bag could be sat first here with 6 points above Elevate, above Rated R.
It's small margins.
It's so close, but in the end, it's about closing it out. And today, Elevate had that. Last week, Rated R had that. Maybe next week will be Regal Reserve's week. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a fantastic series, a fantastic couple of series, and a fantastic first half to the quarter, as you said.
It has been. It has been. It's been thoroughly entertaining. It has to be said. Last season we seen no map number 3s. We didn't see any today, yes, but at the same time they're coming more and more often. We're seeing some entertaining gears as well. A lot of positive vibes out of EU gears right now, and it's good to see. Thank you everyone who did tune in. Of course, a lot of you here to try and get a hold of your skins. Make sure you are answering the questions. Make sure you're tuning in for the Mexican broadcast as well as the American broadcast every single Sunday. So make sure you're just watching as much gears as you can, and you will get a hold of those skins. So thank you to everyone for watching. Please drop a follow on the channel. We're here live every single Monday at 6 p.m. BST. A couple of you were late, an hour late, just because of a wrong graphic. Not on our side. Let's just point that out. Okay. Well, I was going to big us up more than I needed to there, but okay. We're trying to do the best we can, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this show. Fru, thank you very much once again, mate. This whole doing it over the internet has become a normal occurrence.
It's been good.
I think we've smoothed it out now. We've smoothed it out now, haven't we? We only decided to do it remotely on the there was 12 hours before we were supposed to go live in week number 1. So here we are now, and the show is getting better and better each week as it does go on, I feel. So thank you very much for joining me once again. Guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been the EU Gears Pro League. We'll see you live at 6 p.m. BST next Monday for more Pro League action.